Welcome back to my channel, everyone. My name is Eric, and Black Hills and Eastern Railroad is the name of this channel and of my HO scale model railroad that I'm building here at home. Today we're going to take a look at the train show that happened in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, November 18th and 19th, 2023. Let's go out to the fairgrounds and take a look at some of the interviews and some of the action that was happening Saturday and Sunday.
So I'm with Wayne Hanson here. He is the show organizer of Trains of Christmas and has been for quite some time. We're wrapping up here, we're packing it in, and I thought I'd have Wayne say a few words about the show this year and about what the Sioux Valley Model Engineers Society is all about.
The Sioux Valley Model Engineers, we're a club here in Sioux Falls, and we have a permanent layout on the fairgrounds. But back, in 22 years ago, we decided we need a flea market or something, a swap meet, to get more activity and get more model railroads involved. It started out downtown in the gymnasium, the old Coliseum area. We were only able to be there for 2 years because at the end of that period of time, they tore it down. So we looked for a new place. We had enough money to rent the armory here on the fairgrounds. So we were there for 3 years, and the third year we were there, the ladies couldn't get their strollers down the aisleway, so we knew we needed more space. So we moved to this facility, which is the Benson Flea Market area of the Expo building. We've been there ever since. We didn't meet, or we didn't have a show on the year of COVID, but we've been doing this steadily since then. So it's 15 years here.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe.
I know. And the main idea of the show was initially to have a swap meet for model railroaders, but we found out that a lot of people in the city and the surrounding area were interested in trains. I'm talking about the general public, the non-model railroaders. So what this show has evolved into is not only do we bring stuff in for model railroaders to swap meet and so on, but we also try to cater to the general public, because we get a lot of parents and grandparents that want to bring their kids out to see the trains, and we get a lot of those. And in fact, if they come out 1 year, they're always back for more. One of our big layouts is a Lego layout up by the front door. A couple out of Apple Valley come out every year and set that up. And it takes them like 10 hours to set it up. But we get that kind of response from all the exhibitors. They like coming to our show because it's a very friendly show. We get a lot of general public and a lot of good model railroaders. So it's become quite a nice show.
So I've been making a comparison for you people out on the East Coast. This is like our little, in South Dakota, our little Springfield or our little Amherst meet here in South Dakota.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We have another show that's down, there's another model railroad club show down in Sioux City that's comparable to what we have. So it's also a nice show to go to.
And don't forget DSED spring meet in March in Sioux Falls.
Yes, our sister organization, the DSED, they have a pretty much strictly swap meet, but they do have a few layouts.
Good time. Thank you, Wayne.
All right. You're welcome.
But we got out of it, and now we have power. So, and that's pretty good.
Blake Siebelts, why is it that you're interested in people? Or what is it about this layout that makes people ask questions?
All the fun things to find on it. We have all kinds of fun stuff hidden on it. And we run all kinds of fun trains. We have a hot chocolate train and a Halloween train on here. Even though it's after Halloween, but we don't care. We still have as much fun.
You know, we got a nice shot of the,
Train.
what are we calling that?
Hot chocolate train.
The hot chocolate train. I bumped the tripod right as it came by. L gauge trains. So I'm here with Fred Wild. He's a Black Hills and Eastern subscriber, and we're at the train show. And Fred, I was just talking to you about what you do and stuff, and favorite railroad, scale, location, and an era.
I have my YouTube channel myself. It is just Fred Wild. There's nothing picky about it. It's basically just the development of my train layout. And I model ATSF in the mid-50s. I don't know why I picked that, because I didn't grow up in the mid-50s. I didn't grow up in ATSF territory. The only thing I could say is my uncle was an engineer for Santa Fe, so I had that connection to them.
Well, that was a really neat time in history and a neat railroad model.
It was, and I love steam. So I love that transition area between the steam and the first generation diesel.
Very cool. Very cool. Thanks for talking to us, Fred.
Thank you for letting me talk to you.
We've got brothers here, Gary and Glen Johnson, and they're exhibiting their N-scale layouts to talk a little bit about the scenery you guys do and some of the work you've done to these layouts.
On the rock work, I do make it out of plaster that I put in a crumpled up aluminum foil and as a mold, and just put it on the foam board, and then when it's dry, I paint it.
So this is some of that aluminum foil rock work that Gary was talking about. Well, this looks sort of oddly familiar. And I'm not just talking about that 6359 either. Looks like you got too many headlights on there, bud.
Well, that's the fun of it. You know what I mean? I just haven't had a chance to turn them off yet.
So I'm here with Scott Nesbit, my brother from another mother. He's the current superintendent of the Dakota Southeastern Division. I'll just ask you, Scott, a couple of my canned questions. Scale, railroad, era, and location.
Let's see, Scales HO, railroad, CB&Q,
Right on.
Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy.
Yeah.
Probably transition era, I guess, or leaning towards the steam side currently, but I do have a few early diesels. And then location, I mean, I was born on the CB&Q line down in Creston. So I guess if I ever got to model a layout, that's probably what I would try for, something like that. But my layout currently lives here and in a trailer.
What's been the highlight of your year so far, Scott?
We went to Oklahoma City with our modular layout, and that was a first time, and we got invited to that out of the Spring Creek show. So I think that was probably pretty high on the list.
Cool.
So, and Lincoln, much earlier in the year, that's always a lot of fun in February. That's one that I usually kind of organize, and I'm the crew chief for that. So I like that one a lot. But anytime I get to run a train is good. So
Very cool. I've heard that Oklahoma City thing was a hit.
yeah, we were a hit, and it was funny because when I saw the diagram of the room and like our layout, our area compared to other areas, what I thought our large layout, you know, was kind of a drop in the bucket down there. There was some much larger layouts, but we had great feedback because the detail work on our layout.
A crowd favorite.
Yes. They said we could come back as much as we want.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
I was just thinking my buddy Alan Sotkamp would smile at this because these T-track modules, because there's no pit for the DSED members to sit down inside. They've got no choice but to be out with the public and interacting here and stuff.
I'm here with State Railroad Museum Director Rick Mills. Rick will tell you a few things about what he's been doing this year and the highlights of the year so far.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, we had a great museum year out there. Our visitation was right about on par throughout the season. We had some new exhibits out there, including some things based in the new depot exhibit, working on the HO model train layout, 300 square feet, and some other tours and everything. So we had a really good year, and I can't thank everybody enough for all of the members that have participated and volunteers in our exhibits.
I've got a check to write you for a membership for the next year.
That's right. We'll be sending out memberships here before too long for our 2024 memberships, and we appreciate everybody that supports the museum and works in the different activities that we sponsor around the state year-round.
Mr. Rick Mills, State Railroad Museum, Hill City, South Dakota.
Thanks so much. We appreciate your support of everything we do.
Thanks for being on, Rick.
Hey, good to see you.
So I'm with Ross, a fellow YouTuber here, and he's going to tell you about his favorite scale, railroad, era, and location.
Sure. Well, so my favorite scale is HO, which probably isn't a big surprise because a lot of people like that. My favorite railroad is probably the Dakota, Minnesota, and Eastern. Location, I grew up watching them in East River, kind of in the Brookings area, so that's kind of my favorite. And then era, early 2000s to around that 2008, 2010 period when the CP took over and they started getting some cool power in there.
Neat.
So, yeah, it's been pretty fun.
Neat. Thanks, Ross.
Yeah, you bet.
So I'm with Dawson Larson here. We've got the DSED's modular HO scale layout in the background, and Dawson's going to tell you about what his favorite thing is to model, his scale, locale, railroad, and era.
All right, so I model BNSF, and the location of it is the Madison sub. It runs from Sioux Falls all the way out to Madison.
In South Dakota.
I'd say 2017 to modern day. Okay. Kind of gives me a little bit of a range.
Very good.
So,
and does not overlap with me at all.
Yeah.
I'm here with Matt, and he's the guy responsible for those Baldwin, those green Baldwin units that we saw earlier. He's going to tell you a little bit about them.
Okay, so I wound up with a bunch of Baldwin locomotives for a different project, and those two units didn't work for it. So I was just looking around Railroad Picture Archives as far as, okay, who actually had these on their roster. And I stumbled across a listing for BN, found the retirement day photo where they had the two big Northern Pacific Baldwins and their VO1000 switchers in the Auburn Roundhouse, saw that they had been patched with BN numbers, and decided I wanted to see what they look like in Cascade Green. So you can see the results running through at the bottom of the screen. And it wound up being fairly straightforward, just using some of the other units that BN had of that vintage that they actually had put in Cascade Green, as far as figuring out what would have been done as far as the nose striping, number placement, and the road numbers you saw were the actual BN road numbers on those units in that picture. So
I thought that was really cool when you use the actual road numbers for those two units, and then you'd cut out the diagonal stripes for the numbers on the ends too. That was a nice touch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome.
So I'm here with Jim Krekelberg. He is the division clerk, chief clerk. And with the NMRA, Dakota Southeastern Division is the local division here. And Jim's going to talk to you about some of the outreach and the events that the DSED is putting on.
Sure. Well, Eric, we try to reach out to the public. We go to various train shows. We travel around the Sioux Falls area to just get our layouts. We have a large HO layout. We have a N-scale T-track that we travel with now. We have two switching layouts that we have for kids to run both HO and N-scale. And so just getting out in the public and encouraging people to see the model railroading. We started a community ed class through the Sioux Falls School District on teaching people how to do scenic work, add track to modules. It's just a nice little session. We really encourage families to come to that. So we've done that now for 3 years, and it's been a benefit to the club with membership and just, again, exposure to the hobby of the model railroading.
DSED is really doing a good job lately in all the events and things. I wish I could get to more. I'm just not available lately, but someday I'd like to get more involved, and I'd encourage anybody else that's thinking about it on the fence to just sign up for NMRA. Go to NMRA website and submit your membership there. You're automatically a division member. You're automatically a region member, and participate in all that stuff, that good stuff. So thank you, Jim.
You're welcome. Thanks, Eric. Thank you.
So DSED set up and exhibited at the Oklahoma City show here a couple of weeks ago. It was November 4th and 5th. And Jim wasn't there for that, but he's heard stories, and I will let him tell you a little bit about that.
Sure. Our club traveled down to Oklahoma City to the Oklahoma City Train Show, like Eric said, early November, with our HO layout, which is 32 foot by 28 foot in a P-shaped configuration. And while we were down there, it was a very large exhibit hall. I think they had almost 15,000 square foot dedicated just to layouts. And with all the layouts there, even as large as ours was, we were the third smallest one down there. However, ours was probably the most popular just because of the scenic work that we've done on our layout. And we also had a scavenger hunt for guests to go around the layout and try to find things. And they had not seen that down in that area, which totally surprised us that they had not seen that. Okay. And we started a scavenger hunt for both our HO and our T-track here, and it's just a huge hit for families to walk around the layouts, look for the details and things that they would normally walk by. And it's just an opportunity for them to see that. And we also took our HO switching layout down there, and that was a huge hit because they had not seen switching layouts down there. And the kids, we had over 60 kids worked through the HO switching layout when we were down in Oklahoma City.
Very nice. Geez, if I didn't know any better, I'd think this is the Wilmer local here waiting for time and track. And Jim was telling me too about an event that DSED went up to Watertown. You said you had an unexpectedly large turnout for that as well.
Yeah, yes we did. In October we were up in Watertown, South Dakota, went to their mall, and we just had an empty storefront we were able to be in, and we took up all of our layouts up there. But just the reception that we received, we estimate conservatively there was at least 700 to 800 people came up to watch our displays, and they were just impressed with the quality of the layout.
It makes me proud to be a division member.
Well, we're glad you are.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eric.
Milwaukee Road. We're the resourceful railroad, but we're also the railroad that had EMD build us a locomotive for our light, really bad track. Rock Island, Route of the Rockets. That's a really nicely done at -9. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Black Hills and Eastern Railroad. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and leave us a comment. Let us know what you think, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.